Hey everybody, how's it going today? I am Superfiend and welcome back to Planet Coaster. In the last episode, we laid down the track for this Lost Gardens attraction. And in this episode, I want to go ahead and build up the area around it and get some decorations going and fill all this in back here. I don't know what's going to happen out here with this part of the coaster in relation to this scenery yet, but I do have a pretty good idea how I'd like all of this to look over here. So that's what we're going to work on. But before we do that, we're going to take a hop, skip, and a jump over here, and we're just going to look at our research and collect these items, reveal these research items. That's our Tiki Chiki and the Pip Shot, and we had a roller coaster in there. I didn't really take note of which one it was. And now we're going to get the Street Fox Coffee, Missy Good. I've tried building these in previous parks, and they're never very popular, but we'll go ahead and research them anyways. I don't know which coaster this is, Natural Materials, and as usual, we'll just do the max research we can for each item. And we'll just check on our staff really quick. It's been a while since we've done this. Everybody's still happy. The guests, they could use a little bit more food and drink, although we do have those shops, so I'm guessing that maybe they're busy. Let's just look at this real quick and see what's going on here. Looks busy. I'll try somewhere else. And then if we look at Miss Cells, okay, so what we need to do is we need to get this person trained. They are a master. They are a grand master foodsmith. We can train them no further. Okay, well, if we wanted to satisfy the needs of thirst and hunger, we'd have to plop down a couple more shops, and that's not the focus of this episode. I thought we could just train them real quick and move on. Guests think Twisty Turny's too expensive. Well, it must not be new anymore. So let's go ahead and fill in this scenery. And I don't know if I want to build it off of this building or not, but we're going to try that to start and just see how it fits. So we're going to use this floor piece, and we'll sink it down here to the floor. And let's see. Okay, so the track will scooch by this just fine. And let's go ahead and select these and duplicate. Duplicate. It's like watching cells divide if you remember high school biology. And, well, I think about to there is actually pretty good. Now, so inside of here we might want to build like a little raised platform, maybe kind of like this one that we did over here in this building. That might work. Maybe just repeat that design over there. We could do something different. And let's see, the other thing I'd like to do, I'd like to think about how exactly are these going to come out of here. Maybe this is a little bit too far this way. Maybe just right here is going to be sufficient for this building. Let's go ahead and I'd like them to each to come out of their own independent arc, but the way the track's laid out is going to make that kind of difficult to accomplish. Over here it might be a little bit easier because things are nice and even with each other, although they're not, they're really off center, so we might need to detach this and scooch this whole thing over slightly for that to work. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna detach this whole thing, just this part here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just advance move, and we're gonna shuffle it over a little bit. And I think that one can stay how it is. And let's just, can always take things away that we find out we don't need later. So let's go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to take this whole building and we are going to slide it to the left until the track is in the middle of the 4-meter pieces, or close to the middle. It doesn't have to be exact. So like right there. And then we get this little overlap over here, but that's okay. No one's going to notice that. And then we want to go back into editing this building, and I want to get an archway. And we're going to use the sandstone. This is sandstone, right? Yep. Okay. And let's see. Well, let's just do that and see how it looks. The one on the left is okay. The one on the right, and a little bit too low. A little bit too low. So let's go ahead. Let's duplicate those over here so that when we move these up, we can get an idea of exactly how far we're moving it. Okay. I think that's going to work better. And then we can just get rid of these two. And we're going to go ahead and go back to the wall pieces. And we need sandstone. And it looks like we could do 4 meters on the ground. And in between them. And then maybe the 1 meter piece will be enough to fill it in between. No, we'll do 2 meter. Okay, so that's going to look like that. And I think maybe... Go ahead, let's see if this... Okay, so that'll be fine. And on the return journey... Let's see. No, I think we'll just leave that open, like it's 2 tall archways into whatever structure this is. I think we'll just leave it open. But we will fill in the area around it. And I don't know if we need to go all the way out to here, but I think for right now we will. And we'll just go ahead and duplicate those and tilt the camera down and lift them up. And let's see, this is 2 meter. 2 meters a little bit too tall. And 1 meter is just not quite tall enough. So and if we put this and sink it down, well, I guess we could do that, but then it gets rid of the arch. I don't want to get rid of the arch. Okay, let's just go ahead and do it with the 2 meter. And you know, we could always fill this in another way or figure out something else for that. Or we could take all these 2 meters and we could move them down until they're even with it. I think that works better. That'll be fine. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these pieces and we're going to duplicate, and we'll be able to put them there and here, and then let's see. I might need to make a small adjustment to the track for this to work out okay. So for now, let's just go ahead and say that this went through here this way. Yeah, let's pretend it did this. I'll go ahead and remove some pieces. And so what we really want is we want the track to come through here the same way it does over there. So we want to remove these pieces. And we want to get all of these. And we'll just duplicate them and bring them across this way. Alright, so we're going to have to clean up the track there to make that work. And we'll figure out how we're going to do that. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. Let's go over to this building real quick, and we can go ahead and get rid of these two. And we'll go back to this building. And let's see. As for inside here, I don't know if it needs to go back this far. I think we could bring this wall up just a little bit. Before we try to do that, let's just go over here and see how we built these. And let's see. If we select all of this, oh, got to be inside the building first. If we select all of this and we duplicate it, and we edit this building, oh, whoops. We have to split it off from there. And then now if we edit that building, see if we can do this okay. It's pretty easy to transfer non-grid pieces to a new building, but grid pieces kind of don't like to. But let's see if we can strip this down to everything that we don't want or need. And we'll go ahead and keep those ones. And we can get rid of the floor. Okay, so that is its own building. And if we move this, can we add it to this building? Yeah, we can't add it to this building. Of course, we could just set it in here just like this. And actually, maybe that's what we'll do, because that's kind of like the real easy way to do this. Instead of trying to recreate this whole thing, this is the real simple way. So yeah, let's maybe just do that for now. Could always go back and fix it later if we want to make changes or reduce the number of pieces that are in here. And actually, if we scooch it over this way, how's it look? I think what we'll do, I think we'll just scooch it up to about there, and then we'll go back into the main building, and we'll get rid of all these floors. I think this will work. And we'll take all this stuff here, and we're just going to slide this whole wall closer to that big raised platform that we just put in here. So let's go ahead and move this. There we go. Now we can remove these pieces. Come on. Okay, I think that'll work as they come through here. Whee! And they got some interesting scenery that they're going to go flying by. And we'll fill this out too a little bit. Let's see, that is the archway into here. And so we probably would want to take some steps like this and have them coming off, although I don't know if it really matters. But for now we're going to leave the inside here the way it is. Yeah, I think we'll leave the inside the way it is. We'll come back and put like a roof on it or something later. Let's go ahead and address the issue with the track. Okay, so everything from probably here to maybe about here needs to be deleted. And everything from probably here to about here is going to need to be deleted and adjusted. So let's start building from this one first. And let's see. We'll just do this. And it'll let us connect up to there, and it's probably going to end up being a little bit too tall. So what we'll do is we'll just lower it slightly, and then over here is where it gets funky when you lower pieces like that. So we'll just do a little bit of smoothing. And I'm going to leave the little bump that's in here. And then this track over here, we'll just start building off of it. So they're going to go up. So right here we want another one like this. And this looks like it's kind of heading towards the wall. So we'll just straighten it out just a wee bit. And then now we need to go up. And we need to get it over that way. So let's That's as much as it can go up. I need a bigger turn. Maybe shorten it just a bit. And then as we come around this way, there we go. And let's see, where's the smoothing going to be best? Right here is pretty good. And we probably want to smooth this out just a little bit. I was thinking it would make it tighter, but it brought it further that way. Okay. So let's see what we got here. And how fast is it moving? Not the world's fastest ride. 34, 32. I guess that's fast enough. It just seems like it's moving really slow to me. And is it down to one car all of a sudden? Is there a second car on it anymore? I guess maybe there isn't when you're editing the track. So, okay, now the second car is back. So let's go ahead and speed the game up. And we got the test going. And we're not spending any monthly upkeep on this. So it's fine to have this running and testing while nothing else, while we're building the park. Just make sure they can both go around without being impeded. It should be roughly the same as it was before. If anything, the track might be a little bit shorter. Okay, that looks good to me. Alright, so now that we've done that, we want to come over here and we want to fill in this area. But first, this ride is in the way. We're going to have to move it. And you know what? We're just going to set it over here. For now, what is this? A rocktopus? Yeah. So we're going to set it over there for now, and we're going to have to get rid of this path, I think. So let's just go ahead and delete this, and see, now the supports came in. And what is this? This is not cobblestone, flagstone, and I'm going to switch it to 8 meters. And we're just going to redraw this, make it a little bit longer. And let's see. Shorten it now. There, okay. So now we got lots of room over here to build whatever this next building is going to be. And then I mentioned in a previous episode that this section of the park and this section of the park, they're going to be mostly separated by this line here, by terrain or scenery or whatever it is. And then we're going to join them together through some path. And so that path will probably come through this way. And this ride will maybe be placed off of that path. And then the monorail station is going to be over here, I think. And there will be another monorail station in here. So the monorail will probably, I don't know if it's going to leave and come this way or leave and go that way, but it will kind of come through a loop like this and hit the major areas of the park. That's how it's looking in my head. Of course, this all looks very kind of incomplete, but as I said before, I want to get this area mostly built up and get some good rides in here, and then we'll probably end up moving this stuff more over here. So when the guests come in, they're going to rush over this way, and they'll have lots to do in this area, and then we can build up this and these other areas more gradually with everything kind of over here and running. So let's continue on with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to build off of this building here, and we're just going to go ahead and get the flagstone roof or sandstone roof, and we're just going to build a big enclosure for this. Okay, so it's going to be like a big enclosed garden is what I'm thinking. Okay, we can probably get rid of these ones. All right. And let's see, and keeping everything consistent height-wise, we'll just go ahead and use these floor pieces. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to see if I can grab just Yeah, I get these corner pieces too. I just want these. There we go. Yeah, see, when it was oriented this way, it wants to sit on the edge of the grid that's closer to us, and I want it to sit on the edge of the grid that's farther away. So rotating it twice will get it there. If you ever have those kinds of problems where the wall pieces, when you select multiple wall pieces, if it's not lining up on the grid edge that you want to, just rotate it twice. Okay, and let's see, we'll just select these ones. Ah, yes, okay. So we might have to double up the wall here to make it look kind of complete. And we get this weird little gap that's in here. And we could put the archway, the smaller archway, like on this side. Nope, on this side like that. But there's not really anything that we can put down here, I don't think, that's going to look good. Yeah, there's nothing we can put down there that's gonna make that look right. So we're just gonna leave it like this, and we'll probably just put some columns along there, kind of in a similar way we did with the main entrance a long time ago. We'll just hide it with some sort of decoration. And actually, yeah, so let's go ahead and put the archway in. What am I thinking? We'll go ahead and we'll put the archway in. And then this part down below that's ugly, that's the part that we'll hide with some sort of decoration later. If I remember, it's easy to forget those things. Okay, and then... Oops. Alright, I want to grab some of these. And fill it in over here. And then we'll take the pieces away that we don't need. And I'm noticing now that this wall is kind of hanging off on the outside. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just leave it be, I think. No, the OCD is kicking in. I got to fix it. I have to fix it. I can't let it stay that way. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and move it. So it wants to sit there, so if we rotate it twice, it'll go where we want it to go. Yep, okay. That was easy. It was an easy fix, so it was worth doing. And let's see. Looks like we need to make these a little bit taller over here, because the coaster track comes up out of it. Or maybe we don't. Maybe if we just lower the track. Well, then we can't lower it too much because then it's going to collide in here. So let's see. What do we do? I guess we could take all the top pieces. Oops. Come on. At least for this garden area, this enclosed garden, I'm going to take all the top pieces. Alright, we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to remove them. Yeah, I think we're going to remove them. Then we'll just take all the 4-meter pieces. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. Take all the 4-meter pieces that are on top there. And I know that there's more efficient ways to present, you know, building things like this. You know, a lot of people like to use time lapses, kind of show you the whole thing after it's been done, and then just come in and talk about little pieces of it, and that would be more efficient for you to watch and for me to put together. But that doesn't show you the the full struggle of trying to make small adjustments until you get something that looks good, because most of the time it kind of looks crappy until the very end, and then all of a sudden you go, hey, that actually looks pretty good. And so that's kind of why I show everything. And I'm going to leave it all in. And of course, I've got a lot of footage. I could always go back and make time lapses and things out of this later if I was so inclined to do so. And, I could always do that. I may do that. But, I want people who say that they struggle with being creative in this game to see that even though it was a struggle to get it done, it still worked out okay. Not everything looks great as you lay down every single piece. And as a small aside, let's see, this is getting kind of close to crashing the riders into the wall here. So let's just watch it come through. As an aside, I do some hobby painting every now and then with like 28mm miniatures and stuff like that. And sometimes they look like utter crap until you put the last like 10 brush strokes on it, and then you're like, wow, suddenly it looks amazing. And this is kind of the same idea. And you also have to remember when you're creating things that you are your own worst critic. Other people are usually not as judgmental about things as you are. Like, we could finish this whole ride and never fill this in, and then decorate everything and it would look awesome. You put it on YouTube and post it on Reddit and people might think it's amazing. But you as the creator, when you come back and you look at it later, you can be like, oh, it sucks because I forgot to do that. But nobody else knows that you forgot to do that. As far as they know, it was intentional. So, keep those kinds of things in mind if you struggle with building and design. All right. And I said I wanted to put like a fountain in the middle. And so I think we're going to do that. Some sort of fountain in the middle. And so we're going to pick... see, now suddenly these fountains that always seem so huge, so now I wish they were kind of bigger. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to take... I got to get out of the building there and got to go into this building. Okay, let's take this piece. And let's add it to this building. And let's take this piece and add it to this building. And I think those are, well, maybe we'll get this little one too. Maybe we'll find a use for this guy. Okay, we'll just kind of plop them all in here. And let's see, what else do we want to grab that we made from over here? We're probably, let's see. Are we going to be using the cider press pieces? I don't know if we will be. Let's just stick with what we got over here. Okay, what can we do with this? First off, where's the center point of this thing? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11. So if we go in by 5. Okay, here's the center going this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 by 11. So this is the exact center of the room. So if we were an ancient civilization and we had a mind for symmetry, this is where we would put the center fountain. So what I'm trying to figure out now is, well, let's reset the rotation. All right. So one click this way, and then if we now move it and pick the center tile and do an F, it'll snap right into the center of the building. So now let's see. I kind of want to build a multi-tiered fountain. I think that's going to look nice in here. And let's see, what are we going to do with this one? Well, let's just kind of... Okay, so if this is the center, then these are like the edges of the surrounding squares. You know, think of like Minesweeper. Okay, so what if we did this? And let's see, how else are we going to dress this up? One thing that we can do with the new billboard features is we could go get our own texture of water, or we could take a screenshot of this and I think convert it to WebM. And then we could just put like a flat piece here and decorate it kind of like a planter, but then put a billboard on top with that texture, and then it would look like a square fountain here. That's kind of advanced. I've never done that. I think it would work. And maybe I will do that. Are there any other fountains that have this kind of, I don't know, this curved texture on the outside? This one kind of fits with it, and I think we already put one of those in there. These pieces are probably going to be nice for this, as will these. And if we were to go ahead and try to do what I just talked about, okay, let's go ahead, let's control duplicate this one, because let's just say that this fountain's like a little bit taller, right? And let's say we did that. And let's say we left these fountains just where they were. And let's say we were actually going to do that idea with the billboard. Let's just go find a billboard real quick. Are they not called billboards? What are they called? Screens. Okay. Okay, so here's a 4M screen. It looks to be 4M by 2M. Oh, this could work. A little bit bigger. Alright, so if we were to do this, so if we were to put something here and then put this billboard in, the problem is it kind of shows through in that water. Kind of shows through in the water. So how would we, and I don't want to use too many scenery pieces to get this done. Okay, what other, oh, that guy's huge, huge. And I don't think TV screen's got a funky border around it, so I don't think those are what we want. And okay, video and projection. I don't know what the difference is. I've never used these. But I think if we were to take this, yeah, I think what we would end up doing is having like, I was going to say having two of them next to each other to fill up the whole square, but if we were to actually do this, I would probably just do one here and then find like a little short piece to kind of build a wall in here and make it look like it's closed in as a fountain. I'm going to revisit that idea later because I don't really know how to do that or what it would look like. So let's go ahead and fill in the rest of this really quick with some simple stuff. And let's see, I'm thinking the lion. I think the lion will go good over here. And we'll just go ahead and add it to building, and then we'll duplicate it, and we're going to rotate it. And let's see. Okay, we can't center it on that piece that's underneath anymore. So one way we can do it. Okay, so what's this called? Palace Fountain Square. So we're gonna find it in here. Palace Fountain. Set the filter over here. So here's the lion. So I guess we don't need the one that we brought in. So the way you can do it is you select a piece, you hit X, and then you click on this, and now this piece will appear where the advanced move axes were. Oops. Okay. Okay. And you know what? This episode's getting a little bit long, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to end it here, and we're going to come back in the next one and work on this a little bit more. Thank you for watching, and have a good afternoon, and we'll see you then.